slowly put your hands forward like this. Punch your hands forward like this. There you go. And up in the air like this. There you go. And out to the side like this. Out to the side like this. Yeah. And then just move your hips around like this. Nice slow circle. Push hips forward. That's it. And the other way. Like that. Hup. Yeah. That's it. That's the way to go. That's it. Yeah. So yes, yeah. That's it. Change. 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 Good. Okay. Athletes will get their nose down onto their knees. So but you can see how, you know, how flexible you can be. 4, 5, 6.
Hey guys, we're the young leaders for WRD-UK and we're here today to interview Kriss Akabusi.
Kriss Akabusi is a 4-time 400-meter hurdle gold medalist and a motivational speaker.
Guys, watching you do your stuff, it reminds me when I was young. All right.
What challenges did you have when you were younger?
My parents are from Nigeria and they left to go back to Nigeria in 1962. I was born in '58. 5 years later there was a civil war in the country, in Nigeria, and the money that was coming to take care of me stopped coming, so I went from a series of foster carers from '62 to '67 into a children's home. I think the only challenge in living in a children's home is one of the individual identity, really knowing who you are and where you come from. So that's probably the biggest challenge.
Has being in the military affected your athletic career?
Quite simply put, no army, no athletics. When I was a young person at school, I played all sports. I'm not going to try to tell you I was a sportsman. I played sports, but I didn't want to practice. But when you get into the army, one of the big things about army is discipline. Now, discipline can appear a bad word to a young person, or it can be the sweetest word. And for me, I learnt the sweetness of discipline. You know, a beginning and an end, an identifiable framework, people to work alongside, to understand my own role, but also my own responsibility. So, you know, the idea that if you put a little bit of hard work into something and you test yourself, that actually you can win something.
When and how did you make the transition from military to athletics?
The majority of my athletic career was as a soldier. The army was my bread and butter. You know, it paid my bills. The big question was I going to be able to earn enough money from track and field athletics to pay my bills? By now I'm married, I've got 2 kids, so it's not just myself I've got to feed my family. Correct, Amanda. So I made a calculated risk. I bought my house. I was earning enough money in athletics now. Let me think. I think I was making my first 6-figure sum. So that's okay, right? All right, so I was safe to leave the army. But you know what, in athletics you can get injured any time. And that was a big thing for me, is that I was leaving a stable environment, guaranteed income each day and every day, to you're only as good as your last race, fella. I took it.
Not only was you a successful individual athlete, but you also won gold as a team of 4. How important do you think teamwork is?
You guys have seen the living legend, Team GB. So you've seen the effects of a massive team. But certainly what I've found is that as enjoyable, you know, as it is to win on your own, it's multiplied fourfold. In fact, synergy effect, umpteenfold when you do it as a group. Because you know, you recognise that to achieve, you've all had to be synchronised. You've all got to believe in one another. Massive word, trust one another.
Is trust an important part of your work ethic?
Trust is a very important value to me, but something that I don't do easily. You know, people that I should have trusted, like my mum and dad, the fact that they left when I was a young kid means that I find it very difficult to really trust. I'm talking about trust into a vulnerable stage, a trust into a stage where your heart and emotions are involved. That's deep stuff, but you understand? So I can trust on a periphery level. I can trust to a stage where I'm not going to die. So yeah, okay, let's do this thing together, let's work together. But when it really matters, the only person I really trust is myself and the great I am. There's a guy called Ignatius Sancho, and he wrote a little ditty about trust, saying that friendship is a plant of slow growth, and like the English oak, waxes and grows over a period of time. And that's it. You really learn to trust somebody when you've had the anvil of time over time, saying, yeah, you know what, in the good days and the bad days, this person's got my back and I can have their back. And so really, you know, when you're talking about the T word, you probably really only trust a small handful of people who you know that, good or bad, they're there for you.
As you said, Kriss, it was a big risk to leave the army. Was it a big risk to leave sport and go into a motivational speaker?
I do believe that the seeds of your next career start showing themselves towards the end of the last one. But you have to have ears to hear. Yeah. You have to have eyes to see. You have to be watching the teacher when he or she comes. And so for me, as I was coming towards my athletic career, I recognised, actually, first of all, it was TV. People loved the fact that I used to laugh, I used to run fast and get excited. And it was something that TV captured, and for that door to open, I had to close this door. And that's the challenge, is knowing when to close the door behind you. But once you close that door, the other one opens. When
I speak to you, I can really feel your motivational speaking side coming across.
Chris, you know what, I tell you what, there's a saying is that if you follow your passion, you never have to work again.
Getting paid for what you enjoy.
Absolutely right. I found a way, and in fact, I've been really, really blessed, really. Everything I've done, from my athletics, to my TV career, to my professional speaking career, I do work now for charity, in a particular sector, it's my passion. It's very easy to stick with the tried and tested, because it's tried and tested.
But it's harder to take a risk.
Yeah, it is, and yet, you know, we have to. The fact is, I look at you, Chris, now, and you're not the little boy in Pampers when you were 2. You know, you took a risk. In fact, you took a risk the day you were born. The day you were born, when you were standing in the mother's room, it was lovely and comfortable in your mother's room, and that's what place you knew. You had to take that risk, and boom, your mum pushed you into the world, crying and screaming and all that sort of stuff. And then you found comfort with your mum. It's lovely to stay on your mother's breast, and it's lovely to stay there. Easy, tiger. It's lovely. Life is all about risk, and you can never get to the next level unless you actually let go of where you are, so you can go exactly let go of the past. I like to say the past is for reference, not for residence. You can refer to the past, you can look into your past, but don't live in your past.
Thanks, Kriss, for speaking to WRD-UK.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. It's been fantastic.
Back to your race.
I'm ready for you guys. Oh!
Yeah!
What teamwork? What hat trick?